Yeah,
at the show. Yes. Yeah, we do it. Anyway, we're doing it live, and we are live. It's Xbox Nation Wednesday night. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. We are going to do a really good show for you guys. I'm very excited. We do the show every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, give or take a few minutes. Wait for everybody to get here. But it's gonna be a fantastic show. I got a lot of great topics, a fantastic panel as well, and it always starts off with the man who I'm probably gonna get into a little bit of a debate with when it comes to this Call of Duty stuff. My man Mooch, what's up, bro?
It's not a maybe, buddy. It's going to be a huge debate, first of all. And second of all, you're handing out Mooch's wrong t-shirts, but what you don't realize right outside your house right now, Mooch's right t-shirts are being given away to everybody in Florida because what you're going to say is not going to make up. That campaign will not make up for what they're going to be missing next year, but we'll get into it when we get there. Good to be here, everybody. And I'm excited. I'm ready. Crap, you got me all riled up. I got all my evidence all over the table right now. I am ready for the debate.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get started. It's going to be good. Rumple Foreskin apparently oh my gosh, he gave us
a very difficult thing to stare at. There you go. Yeah.
Yes, dude, come on, man.
Oh man.
Yeah, like come on, that's not right. Anyway, we've also got Salty. What's up, Salt? How's it going, bro?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I just got done watching the Nintendo Direct, and it was pretty awesome, I have to say. As you said, I wore white pants to the Direct, and it was pretty awesome. New Zelda remake was announced, and I'm excited, guys. Let's go. Ready to hand these L's out. All right.
It is, and we've got the always awesome Foxy. She's back. What's up, Fox? How's it going?
Just upset that I can't invite my friends to play Crackdown, so I'm kind of. What the hell is this bullshit? Like, really?
Yeah, I would say that.
I just had to let it out. I've been holding that shit in for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna have a big Crackdown party, man. It was gonna be a big party, right, Mooch?
I was right there with you. I was coming over. I was bringing drinks, but then I had to stop as soon as I heard that. Right after my video dropped too, so I was excited in my video, and then the information came out, and I was like, really?
Okay. Yeah. It's crazy, man, and we're gonna definitely get into that as well. We've also got VapeBot 439723410 10er 9er 8. What's up, Vape? How's it going, man?
448, my brother. And crap. What day is it, crap?
It's Hump Day. Wednesday. It's my favorite day. My all-time favorite day.
Too much.
Yeah, right.
Well, crap. I got a really quick announcement. I was talking to OSnaps today. We were talking about, because you know how February is just jam-packed with games and everything like that. And it is official. Not only will I be playing Crackdown February 15th, but I will be going in on Metro Exodus as well. Guys, the gameplay, the more and more you look at that gameplay, the more and more it's like, damn, I gotta get that game. I gotta be in that world. And yeah, we are getting the game.
See, I saw more and more of it, and I just thought, wow, that's just
well, damn, can I get my intro in?
Like,
I know, right?
That was my intro.
The only person that's excited to get her intro, and it's Luca. She's back for the first time since last year. Welcome back, Luca. She actually requested to be on the show. So
yes,
how's it going?
Yes, I am doing quite well. Thank you for asking. I'm very happy to be here. You know, I would be on more. I would be on more. It's just stop distracting me. I would be on more, but I am a lazy piece of crap who just doesn't show up. So my bad. But I do plan on showing New Year, New Me. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes. Hashtag it.
So if you'll have me, I would like to come on a bit more this year.
Absolutely, that's absolutely fine. One of the great people that I actually trust to be on the show. You always do a good job, and everybody here does a good job. That's why they're here. So that's always appreciated. You guys come on the show, and to those of you watching, please like, share, all that kind of good stuff. Get it out there.
I think we all got a what do you call it? A craplement. It's like a compliment, but
that is a new word, a craplement. It is going to be.
It is a craplement.
It is going to be great.
Don't give him ideas,
right?
It gives me great ideas. I want to start off with something, Mooch. what about this Apex Legends stuff, right? 25 million players.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this thing is just totally blown up. It's absolutely done. Incredible numbers.
It's amazing.
Saved EA. They're saying apparently this game has caused Titanfall 2 to sell like crazy again too. Like, I don't know. Like, are people realizing that this developer is quality and they do good game, gunplay and stuff like that? To me, it's like I'm happy for them. I think it's cool. The gunplay is cool. Again, I think these battle royales should be free just because of the way they play, and they're such a small type of game, right? So I think that's what gives this and like Fortnite sort of a leg up as opposed to PUBG and Blackout. Aside from that as well is the fact that they're going to be able to invest more and more money into it now that it's proven to be successful, and it has no building aspect. So you have a free, so for the first time, you have a free version of Battle Royale with no building, and as far as I can tell, no dancing anywhere. So, hey, I'm happy about that. What do you think, Mooch? I mean, because you first were like, probably won't do that good, and now, like, I know you like it a lot.
The comments were about, well, it's been out a week. So the comments I made were after 2 days, and it wasn't as blisteringly hot as it is now. I will say this much. I said on Sunday when we had MNC, well, I mean, let's be honest. 2 days is not usually – that's not a sample.
Mooch the politician here, guys.
Well, it's true. Look, I mean, come on. Let's be honest.
I didn't have all the facts, jury.
If you knew everything you were saying, Salt, right now, you'd be sitting on a pile of cash instead of Salt, right? You've been invested in Respawn. I mean, continue.
You
know what I mean? But here's my thing. Yeah. I've been playing a ton of it, an absolute shit ton of it. I'm up until ridiculous hours of the morning again. I have not done this since, I got to say, maybe the original Call of Duty days. The game is something special. It's a nice, what I was concerned about is I was concerned that they were going to take the classes that they're bringing into the game and they were going to make it Overwatchy, if you will. And I was concerned that they were going to be overpowering and then you're just taking the same Call of Duty Blackout world and combining the two. What they've managed to do somehow is they've taken, the gunplay is much better than I thought. It's much better than I thought. So that's where they excelled there. And listen, you got to take it out. You take it out. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad it's doing well, but I would like to remind everybody of something. Let's talk about why this thing has also caught fire. It's caught fire because of the streamers, and the streamers have now been playing for 787 days straight Fortnite. So I don't care how much money you're making, like this redundancy like sets in, and it gets old. And I've been reading articles where these big streamers, Dr. Disrespect Ninja behind the scenes, have all said similar things. Like they're just tired of playing Fortnite. But that's what the revenue stream was, right? So you do what you're doing. So when this game came out, and yes, the gun mechanics are nice, really nice, well balanced of bringing in these different classes, right? And then just kind of tweaking it with the banners and having the announcer right from the Hunger Games. That's the same lady from the Hunger Games. It sounds like you have a new champion. It's like great. I love it. But realistically, I think this thing got to where it is right now is because the streamers are really the ones pushing the narrative these days, okay? And that's why Xbox went so hard to push Mixer, but they're not pushing it hard enough because Twitch is still killing them. The point of the matter is that I think it's kind of the perfect storm, if you guys will. So you have a Battle Royale comes out right between this little lull between new games we have. Everyone's over their Christmas hangover. Everyone likes Battle Royale. Everyone was like, I don't like Battle Royale. Full of shit.
Yeah, you do.
You like Battle Royale. You may not like the one we're talking about, but you like the concept. Everyone likes that. It's kind of fun. Even 1 versus 100, right? Everyone likes that style game. It's fun. So you have that in there. And then you have, this is the part where I'm going to answer Crap's initial point, and I'll give the mic to the rest of the panel. When he said, well, now people are realizing Respawn is who they think they are. Here's the thing with Respawn. Titanfall 1 was amazing. Okay, it got crapped on and destroyed because it was an Xbox exclusive. Titanfall 2, Respawn tripped over their own feet. Their own PR company, their own employees couldn't stop getting themselves in the way of trouble by promoting one brand or making the game too Call of Duty-ish. They went away from their roots. They hurt themselves on Titanfall 2. And now what they did was they said, hey, let's not open our mouths. Let's show people what we're made of. They had a stealth launch. And it is the creation that we know what is Apex Legends today. So that all being said is how we got from last Tuesday to today. You know, and it feels like it's been months. It's been 6-7 days.
You know, Mooch, I will give you the whole streamers thing as like creating kind of like an initial wave there. But when it's all said and done, people that go in and try it out because they saw, you know, such and such streamer playing the game or whatever, they gotta like the game themselves as well. And I feel that with Apex Legends, even down to the little like kind of responses from your team, not the people in the party chat or the game chat, but what they have programmed into the game. Like it brings something different, and it brings a better connection with you and your squad as you're going through and you're trying to be that one squad left standing that other battle royales don't really have. It's got like, there's a bunch of little things that are different, and when you put them all together, it creates a more unique experience in battle royale than you get from, you know, the Fortnites or even the PUBGs. And I still play PUBG. So
the only thing I disagree with you, Xbot, is when you said the streamers, they have to like it a bit. No, they don't.
Well, no, the people
they're going to work. They're going to do what's popular.
No,
they're already skilled.
I didn't say the streamers. I said the people who got into this game because such and such streamer was playing it. So now it's on that gamer's radar. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh man, it's free to play. I'm going to download it, but they're going to have to like it.
It's free. Yeah,
they're going to have to like it. It's going to have to perform as well, and it does all of that, man.
Yeah, none of this matters anymore because Tetris 99 is dropping. I don't know if you guys heard that. Anyway, if you guys don't know, it's a Tetris battle royale. That's the day and age we're living in here, folks. All right, that's how popular this shit is. But when it comes
go ahead. Like, I was just gonna say, Tetris battle royale, man. Like I saw that, but it's just like that to me doesn't really make much sense. But yeah,
what's next? Making hot dog simulator royale? Like what is this?
Hey, I mean, bread battle royale, man. Yeah. I am bread.
I am bread.
I am mayo battle royale. I know, right? I can hardly imagine the trends that are like. I'm surprised that we haven't seen more trends where people are trying to do this, and I actually like maybe you guys can chime in on this. I like the fact that they stealth launched the game because then you have nobody to really bash it leading up to a launch nowadays, because it seems like whenever a game is about to launch, you have usually just everybody just kind of trashing that game nonstop on social media until it does launch.
Let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla. That's what it is. That's the media, right? And we're all kind of a product of that to a certain extent, but the difference are we're not the gaming media. We're just doing podcasts and we're having fun and we enjoy gaming, so we give our opinions. But if you guys go back and remember, IGN bashed Apex when it first came out.
They did, and then they gave it a 9.
The tweet, and then
they bashed it like Mooch, and then they changed their mind.
They were worse than me.
Oh, dang.
Anyway, my thoughts on Apex, because I'm winning more games than Mr. Dr. Disrespect over here. I'm winning them. I end my night on a win every night, dude. Anyway, this game is so good. I'm telling you guys, it is. So we're talking about the streamers, right? And how they're moving audiences towards certain games.
Yep.
We saw that with Sea of Thieves, and now we see where Sea of Thieves is, right? It's like at the bottom again. So the difference with this game is it has staying power. You know, the streamers were, popping on a trend, but this thing's going to just continue to stay there.
The only thing I would ask you to do is let me do what you did to me 7 days ago. I'll do to you right now and say, let's hold that comment. Because the minute that these streamers leave this game, that's going to be the question. Because let me tell you something, Salt. You go back 8 days ago, Fortnite was on top, and all these people that we mentioned, all their names that are on streaming, they were all playing Fortnite. They left Fortnite for this game, and now Fortnite is several 100,000 viewers less per day. This is my point. So when you say that staying power, I say maybe. I don't know yet. The problem with Battle Royale is, Salt, is, and if we didn't learn this over the last 7 days, I don't know what else is going to teach us. It's what have you done for me lately? And so you can't really go ahead and just rope your lasso to this star, because this star is burning bright right now. But the minute the next one comes along, believe me when I tell you this, they will jump to the next one, and this one will be 5, 6, 7 back. So it's just a matter of time.
I would agree with you if Battlefield wasn't next, and that looks like ain't nobody gonna touch that.
I bet
full pull. I'm just saying.
My
I
God.
mean, it might not be Battlefield, but it could be the next one. I mean,
Yes, that's what I meant.
We went from PUBG to Fortnite to this.
No, I know. That's why I'm saying if it wasn't Battlefield, I would agree with you. But right now, when it looks like Battlefield is next.
Luca's right. I meant hypothetically next, not the next in line. Next guy to stand up.
The difference between what was it? So the last real big challenger was Black Ops. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah,
and
it had its run.
But it was potentially the challenger. It didn't have the staying power like this game has because it wasn't free to play. It didn't have.
That's a big deal. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think in this market, in order to compete with the Fortnites of the world, with staying power, you have to be free to play. It has to be from the get. Yep. Like you can't just be like decide later, hey, we're gonna make it free to play, because at that point you're already pretty much irrelevant. Yep. I think that the way these streamers go is they catch on to new games. Obviously, they'll stream stuff that's popular. They'll hop on that for a little bit, and it spikes the numbers, but then they return back to their old bag, right? Like Fortnite is like the go-to for these dudes because they'll switch, they'll do Sea of Thieves, and they'll go back and they'll do another game. I'm sure they'll do some of these, you know, Anthem maybe for a little bit.
There's another metric coming up that we got to pay attention to, okay? And that is season 8 for Fortnite is coming up within 7 to 10 days. And trust me, they're all going to go over to that because they're invested. They have things. There's new things coming out. Well, do I think that's the end of Apex? No. But what I'm saying to you is you'll see a glitch in the matrix at that point, if you will.
You know, Mooch, you touched on it a little bit, but with talking about Fortnite in Season 8, I think one of the aspects with Apex, and of course there's some streamers out there that have kind of like ties, whether they're financial or whatnot, to Fortnite. So, yeah, they're going to go back and do this or that. But at the end of the day with Apex, what I like about Respawn is they said that they have their seasons planned out. They have their content planned out throughout the year. And what they did is they just released the game in February. In March, they're really going to start adding the content right there. They got people hooked on the gameplay. And now they're going to start giving them all the extra skins, characters, and stuff like that going into that season, kind of like what Fortnite's doing. And if they can do that successfully, they're going to be up at the top of those charts like for a long time with this game, because it's not. And I'm sorry, I know some people in the chat are probably going to kill me here. It's not cartoony. You don't have people building log cabins in front of your house, like in front of you, like when you're trying to shoot at them and stuff like that.
The art style is kind of cartoony though.
Yeah, it's a bit cartoony.
It's a more mature type scenario. You look at the map and everything like that. You don't have like the very non-detailed blades of grass and stuff. There's a different art style there.
I understand what you're saying, but there's a chick that goes through a teleporter and goes that's invisible and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
sci-fi. That's considered sci-fi, not cartoony.
That woman looks like a character from an anime called One Punch Man.
Yeah.
So that was like the first thing I thought when I saw her. So I mean, I get what you're saying. I think it has more of the Overwatch appeal in terms of characters.
Yeah.
You know, and something that people aren't really talking about, I really like the accessibility features that this game has. You know, the ping system and the voice to text and text to voice. Like it's not something that people really think about or focus on if, you know, they don't have to if they're not concerned with that themselves. But I think it's really important. I think it's great that they've implemented this, and I hope more games do that in the future as well.
Hey, that's a really good call, actually, right there. Like I've seen some people talk about that, so that's really cool that they were able to do that. Algorithm says, will EA's Battlefield 5 dropping their said BR mode free help save that game?
No.
Foxy, we ask you because you're the one that knows Battlefield.
No, I don't think so. Like, who wants to go back and use World War II weapons for Battle Royale? To be honest.
Yep.
Yeah. They came out with
that's going to be super slow.
They came out with a statement, EA did, and said that they can exist in the same universe, not the universe, but BR realm or whatever, because they're kind of different. Yeah, same space. But I just think they're going to kind of stealth release this, maybe free to play, and just kind of forget about it. You know, they're going to focus on Apex, because you got to look at it this way. You have this, snowball rolling down the hill. It's getting bigger, and momentum's growing. It's, 25 million players, 2 million concurrent. Like, this thing is going crazy. So it's raising their stocks when it was plummeting, and you had some, stinkers there with, Battlefield. So they're going to put all their chips into the table on this game specifically.
This game definitely took the heat off of EA for a while. Let's be real, and it's at a great time with Anthem coming out and everything like that. If BioWare did a good job with Anthem, like this is just nothing but like positivity for EA, like rolling forward, man.
I guess in a way, but there's still going to be people out there hating EA, but they have respect for Respawn and they have respect for BioWare, you know? But people are still going to hate EA right now until they change a lot.
Well, you know what's not hating them right now? The people who own stocks, okay? Because it came right back.
It did. It did come back. What did you want to say?
It's all about the money.
No, it's kind of like two people that you hate, but you hate one person more. You know what I'm saying? It's like I hate both of these people. Like with Activision, they're doing like dumber shit, and like they seem more. We're
gonna get into that Activision stuff too, because what they're doing is kind of slime bally. There's a little bit of slime ball going around from a few of these companies lately, and I'm really looking forward to kind of jumping into it. I'd like everybody to, as we close 450 viewers, hit that like button, guys. Share it out on YouTube or social media, or where the hell you do that stuff lately. And I want to move on and talk a little bit about Crackdown 3, because everybody wants to talk about Crackdown 3 now. This game, right? It's been in development forever. It got announced too early. They threw more money at it. It looked like trash at first. We were promised like these huge open worlds with totally destructible environments and amazing. We were promised 4-player co-op campaign. And I will say there's some of the streams that I've watched of the campaign and stuff. Dude, the campaign looks okay, right? I think it looks fine. The multiplayer, right? Here's the scumbag part, in my opinion. Okay. They didn't tell us that you can't invite your friends or do a lobby. And we had to find out because somebody happened to screenshot one of the developers in the official Discord for the game. And they said, well, there's not going to be any parties. You're not going to be able to invite your friends to play this. And then it came out 4 days before this game is scheduled to launch. So in my opinion, that's a really scumbag move by the company. And I've already kind of gone over this. Like, wow, here we are, 2019. There's games on the Nintendo Switch that have a lobby system. Think about that.
Shit.
As backwards, yes, as backwards as that is, the Nintendo Switch's online is. They have lobbies where you can invite your friends. Me and Mooch, we're gonna stream the game, right?
Yep.
Nope. Guess what? You can't do that with the multiplayer because you can't invite your friends. Whoever heard of that? Yeah. This is Xbox Live. They are
wait for the update. Wait for the update, guys.
How alarming was it? Crap, we talked about it last week before this news even came out. When they said they were going to have a single player download and a multiplayer download, that whole thing made no sense. I mean, I remember the physical days when you had a few games did that, but this was alarming. Remember, I actually said it to you on MNC. I said that's alarming. You go, I don't necessarily think it's alarming, and I'm like, it is, because it's two separate entities, but it's one game. So what's the problem here? And the problem is, here's what I said. The same thing I said with and we'll get into the Call of Duty thing in a minute. I don't want to segue to that. But, you know, Call of Duty is always known for its multiplayer. It doesn't matter how everyone feels on the panels. It predominantly focuses on multiplayer. So this game predominantly always focused on single player. Mm-hmm. Yes, they would have got some backlash. This game's gotten so much backlash right now. It's the difference between 10 to the 10th power and 10 to the 11th power. Both the numbers are so big, it doesn't matter. It's gotten so much backlash, it doesn't matter at this point. So you cut out the multiplayer, wait, like let it stew, fix it, whatever you got to do, or just drop it. Put out a decent 15 to 20-hour campaign, which they have, and make this game if you guys are all Crackdown fans like you say you are, you never played Crackdown multiplayer anyway. So you play Crackdown single player. So enjoy the single player, and this, because now the multiplayer, crap, you know as well as I know, it is going to drag, not the metas, the all say all. You guys know I don't care about meta, but it will drag it down, and for the masses and the casuals, they're going to see another lackluster number coming from meta on an Xbox exclusive, and it's just more pie in the face, and I don't understand why leadership at Microsoft can't do two things. A, make an executive decision that makes sense for the company and their customers. And number two, like Crap said, speak the truth. I mean, this is big news to come out 4 days before a game launches that you can't play a multiplayer game with your friends on Xbox Live. I mean, that's ridiculous. I don't know what the excuse is.
They were like probably scrambling to figure something out before it came out. And then it just blew up in their face because they know that if they had said something, the reaction would have been this, it would have been this exactly. And I'm actually surprised to hear that about people being more interested in the single player. I never played Crackdown before, but from what I've heard from everyone is just like, I can't wait to play this with my friends. I can't wait to play this with my friends. So I think it was a rock and a hard place. And no matter what happens, this game probably isn't going to be what people expect and probably isn't going to be what they told us. And it's going to be a really interesting day tomorrow. That's all I can say.
My whole thing on this, like the whole no parties, no lobbies to get people into Wrecking Zone was a huge disappointment. My whole thing was, you know, no matter what, you're going to get backlash here. So why do you keep it under wraps until, you know, somebody takes a picture on your official, you know, Discord or whatnot? You know, you get in front of the fire, let people know that you're working on it, let people know why. If it's something to do with the cloud destruction and needing kind of like a regional server, and you know, if your friends like halfway around the world, there's an issue there, let people know. Have that honesty that I think Ash and you know, Luca was talking about right there, and then take whatever backlash there. I mean, there's already been so much backlash to this game. If you are a Crackdown fan, you are excited. I am excited. The campaign looks amazing. Anybody who says that like the graphics look like they're PS3 or whatever, when you look at like the gameplay that you've been seeing from the campaign lately, I don't think you can say that. All right. The daytime looks sick. The nighttime looks absolutely incredible.
All right, so guess what the #1 comment was from my video that slammed the Xbox for not having an ability to play with your friends? I got comments like, "Hey, it gives us the ability to branch out and meet new people."
Do that anyway.
After all, isn't that how we met each other online? I was like, "What kind of bullshit is this?" A new level of damage control. Is like, if you guys wanted to meet people, you guys wouldn't be in fucking parties every night. You know what I'm saying?
True. Good point.
Like, come on, facts, guys.
Hey,
like,
here, C Script says, isn't Crackdown 3 single player the main focus of Crackdown? Here's the thing. That maybe was the case if they didn't come out 5 years. If they didn't come out 5 years ago and go, we've got the power of 856 Xbox Ones. Destroy everything. Play with your friends. You know, you guys take down this thing and do that. It's going to be great. We've got the power of the cloud at your fingertips. You don't even need the good internet connection. You just need 1 gig down and you're good to go. We're the future. Like, here's the thing. This cloud stuff is their bread and butter of the future, supposedly. So if they can't get this to work with, you know, being able to play with your damn friends, then how's this whole cloud streaming nonsense that Phil and everybody's talking about going to work down the road? We want people to play everywhere. You know, like, it's obviously not as cut and dry as what they're making it out to believe. If you got to play, like, okay, so I can only play with other people in Florida, right? Like, is that the problem? You know, like, this is a huge issue. And the fact that you can't play with your friends on this game, this is their big game. Imagine having to ask in the future, hey, is Halo going to have a lobby system? Is Gears going to have a lobby system, right? Like, why should you have to ask that in 2019? Like, that's my big question. That's my big beef with this, right? And the fact that they played it off like, oh, well, and then you see Phil come out and Phil's like acting like nothing's happening, right? Like, he doesn't even say anything. Phil's that, like, if it would have been something about a controller or how somebody was promoted that was I don't know. I want to say something smart ass that somebody will probably hate me for, so I'm not going to say it. But, you know, if it was something ridiculous, he would have come out and then said something, right? But the fact that it's something actually gaming related that people were worried about, he didn't say, he didn't have anything to say, right? Nothing to say.
I love Phil Spencer, but his silence just speaks volumes on this game.
Yes.
Here's the real facts, all right? So one of the most popular games of 2018 was Red Dead Redemption 2. What did they do when their multiplayer was garbage and not ready? They put it under the title of a beta, or it's not finished. Like, hey, we're going to release it later. And then what happened? The review scores, they got killer review scores because no one cared about it. I mean, at minimum, you say, hey, this shit's not ready. It's a beta. It's unfinished. We'll release it at a certain other date, maybe free to play. Maybe we'll monetize it.
It's already a separate download. They could have done that easily.
Exactly.
I understand what you're saying there. I mean, completely. But the whole Red Dead name behind it, Rockstar, there was no way that was going to get bad reviews. Even if it did come out with the game, people would just say the single player is so good that you know, the multiplayer is just an extra bonus that they're working on, so it's not a big deal.
And
I think with Crackdown, it would have got shit on regardless if they would have held it off with the multiplayer, or if they would have added it, and now we have these issues or this late information, which I agree with Bot. They should have said it from the get.
Well, I really think that this is the last of the old guard, and they're just trying to get this game out and be done with it, wash their hands of it, and just move on to a brighter future for Xbox. Yeah, man, listen, regardless of anything they would have done, the game is going to get crapped on, man. Like that, it's just how it is. People hate Xbox. I've seen a bunch of dudes who I know someone told me, Luca, I would have bought an Xbox for Crackdown if it had had that multiplayer, right? I was like, what?
Yeah, right.
I was like, okay. So, like, people are going to hate the game regardless. They're probably just throwing it out there like, okay, we're done. It's done. It's out. Finally, it's out. Okay, let's move on. And once people...
Exactly what they're doing, too.
Yeah, once the media is done bashing it, if that's what they're going to do, if they're going to bash it, the people on Twitter and social media are going to bash it. It's going to get a lot of hate. And then people are going to move on eventually, and
Luca,
then we can focus on better stuff.
I actually so want to believe that, and I had believed that for such a long time. The problem I have is, and I don't know, I don't sit at the table at Redmond. It's the leadership over there, the whole hands-off approach, and that's why Phil's silence is deafening. Because the point of the matter is that they don't have their hands invested into the gaming process. And Crap did a couple of very good videos this week on Sean Layden's comments. And me and Crap have talked about it a number of times with the Nintendo Gold seal of approval that they did back in the 90s, if not the 80s. And my point being here is that Microsoft doesn't have that seal of approval. They don't have that gold seal because they say these things that sound really nice on social media, right? They say things like, you know, we want to give the developers all the time they need, all the freedom they need. Let me tell you something. We are all employees somewhere. If your boss walked up to you and was like, I don't care when you come in. I don't care when you leave. I don't care. Just do you. Guess what? Nothing's getting done, or nothing's getting done properly. And, you know, now it's up to Matt Booty to see what he does moving forward.
It's booty time. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly, I guess, what I'm saying. But my point is that I think that, you know, Luca makes a point, because you can look at it and say that Crackdown 3 is the end of that first regime. But when you stop and look at it, this is under Phil's watch.
Phil was the head of Xbox Game Studios before he became president of the head of Xbox.
But he's the head of Xbox during the 3 years this thing was under, like, repair.
But this is one of his favorite things in the world. Like, his favorite game is Crackdown, and
you wouldn't know.
I know, Mooch. Like, you if you were.
Okay, they're probably listen. I can't damage control.
No, hang in there. No, I agree with you, girl.
No, he came out and said that this is one of the staple franchises, dude. Like, it could be. Like, what?
That's definitely not happening. But I think that you have a good point, Mooch. Apathy breeds apathy. And if you don't expect much and if you're not present, then people just go off the rails and do whatever.
Yes.
So
Well, here's the let me pay the bills real quick. Gotham Guy says, with Crackdown 3 hit with more negative news coupled with 4A games pushing up their game release 1 week of Anthem, Metro Exodus could have a strong first week of sales and have a longer staying power.
Different game.
Metro Exodus. What? Who? I haven't even seen that.
And it's not in game. Metro is not in Game Pass either. You know,
it will be in 3 months.
Give it 3 months.
Either way, with all the negativity that's going on, there's still people that are going to try out this game. Now, what Lucas said, I also feel that with Crackdown, it's the last kind of like smudge on the name Xbox, and they're just trying to get it out there. And they'll fix things, because they even said they're working on a patch. They don't necessarily know when it's coming out or whatnot, but they just want to get it out there and move on and move forward. They know exactly what they're planning with new hardware, with launch lineups coming up in 2020. Not only that, we still have Gears this year, and this is the last kind of like smudge. And
Xbox. Let me tell you why that doesn't hold any water. I went and saw years ago, 10, 12 years ago, went and saw Jerry Seinfeld live. At the end, he did a Q&A, and somebody was like, which is your favorite episode of Seinfeld? And he goes, and he takes a second, he kind of takes a deep breath, and he goes, that's a really hard question to answer, because he goes, every one of those is my baby, And he goes, it's kind of like each one of them is my own breath of air. And he goes, I can't say one breath of air is any more my favorite than the next breath of air I've ever taken. And when you have any kind of pride in what you're doing, okay, you don't let these kind of mistakes happen time and time and time again. And that's why I made the point to make the issue that comes up with Crackdown. It was, yes, I understand it was of the old regime and it was this and that, but the revival, and when it was under construction and it getting the reboot money and all this attention that it got with Joe Staten and all these other guys, okay, that's all under Phil's leadership as head of Xbox. And like Crap said, just before that, he was the head of games, okay, Xbox Studios, or Microsoft Studios formerly. So my point being is, I'm sorry, but I can't buy what you're selling, because this is also a franchise that is an Xbox first-party game. This isn't a new IP. So it's an absolute
I'm not saying they're right at what they're doing, but I can see.
So what makes you feel better about games coming out in the future when you've seen what they've done and how they control Rare? And don't get me wrong, Sea of Thieves is doing well in itself.
I think Sea of Thieves is fine. I think you have an issue with it in what it is right now. I feel like I can go back. It's a game that is catered to Game Pass. I have Game Pass. When they put that story in that update, and then I will be able to go back into that and enjoy it.
But is Game Pass becoming Game Pass becoming a get out of jail free card? That's what it sounds like.
You know what it is? Here's the thing.
What people are saying.
Yeah, I
think Crackdown, I could definitely say that.
I think Game Pass and to the chat, I am a fan of Crackdown, and I am frustrated that I can't play with my friends. The single player could be great, and maybe it is. People are saying it's good, and the HDR is insanely good. Hey, as we hit over 500 watching, please hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. But as fans, and here's the problem, and I know everybody has this problem, because look, Lethal Papa's in the chat. A lot of good people in the chat that are tired of people bashing Xbox. I'm with you guys. But at some point, you have to still be able to go, you know what, as Xbox fans, we should be able to complain about something that's subpar or that we're promised and we didn't get delivered. And I'm always going to be able to do that. Yes, it does suck that people who weren't going to play the game are going to bitch about it anyway.
Maybe if Xbox... But maybe if the Xbox leadership would stop worrying about looking great on social media. Do you see when Sony executives say things on social media? They say things that are coming from the business standpoint. And like Sean Layden made a big oops this week with his foot in his mouth with the whole crossplay thing. Okay?
Yeah.
Big time. But you know what they did? Moving on. That's what we want to do. Right? And they're doing it for the best.
By the way, that Kumbaya shit is spreading at an alarming rate.
They're talking about it at Sony too, right?
They are, you know, and I mean, like, I just think that, like, my whole point is that it's concerning moving, and, you know, like you said, there's awesome Xbox fans that are here, and we're tired of it too. But the point of the matter is, I'm not as I don't feel as good as like Xbox, for example, is moving into the next generation when I've seen the mistakes happening over and over again with the current administration.
And wait, real quick, Salt. I would like to say that you guys, I mean, they know that you're huge Xbox fans. The show is called Xbox Nation. Who loves Xbox more than y'all? So if you're bringing up critique or criticism, people need to learn the difference between hate and criticism. It's not the same thing. I can say, take for instance, From Software keeps remastering the Dark Souls series, rebranding it and selling it to us over and over and over again. Like, we're not going to notice that. That's an issue for me. Like, where are your new games at? But, you know, it's none of my business. Anyway, okay, listen, okay. But, like, that's what I'm saying, you know. You guys are allowed to critique Xbox. It's perfectly fine. People should stop and think is really what I want to say. It's like, okay, so if Crappy is saying something, maybe I should not just assume that all the criticism that's coming in is just hate, and see where he's saying and try to see things from his perspective. Not all criticism is hate. You just
it's for the better.
Yeah.
What an amazingly astute thing to say, Luca. Wow. Like, imagine that, right? Like, no, seriously. It's like people think that
compliment right there.
Exactly. Well, like, people think that if I say something or Mooch says something negative about Xbox, that we must be just trying to join in, and that's not the case. I feel bad sometimes doing the negative Xbox stuff because everybody and their mother does it. Yeah. Because everybody's going to do it. But the truth is, if you're going to everybody that's doing it, and they're not Xbox people to begin with, of course, because there's nothing really Sony related going on this year. So they're going to need to do content too, and they're going to talk about Crackdown 3. And Microsoft, again, though, gives them this opening by having a subpar game out. So Forza Horizon, and I'll be honest here, right? So Sea of Thieves launch, no content or whatever, people, and a low Metacritic. Okay, then State of Decay 2. Oh my God, that game. Oh, the more I think about it, the more I pissed in the ammo. It's gone, right, Mooch? I mean, come on, terrible. It's not a great game. I'm sorry.
Spawning in a wall.
Yeah, I spawned in a wall, or I played with Luca.
And
she spawned in the floor
all day in crap, and we
did spawn. And I was really
half of us ended up. We were in buildings. Half of us were in buildings. Felt like Han Solo.
Yeah, why they do this? Why they do this?
And the thing is, look, here's the thing about these games. What they have in common. So, Sea of Thieves, game as a service, kind of build your own adventure deal. I like it, but that's what it is. State of Decay 2 deviated from State of Decay 1, where State of Decay 1 had a static storyline. State of Decay 2 didn't have a static storyline. It's just all these events and dailies and just like very game as a service, right? And so it got really kind of bad review scores, mediocre review scores. I understand that too. Then you have Forza Horizon 4, which, okay, upon playing it, amazing game. Not as good as 3, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why.
What?
3, because I go back and I look at it. 3 was very much oriented around the actual, the festivals and stuff like that. There's not really that story in this one. It's like the festival takes a backseat, and instead we get dailies and weeklies, right? Game as a service. They've turned Forza Horizon into a game as a service.
Oh, dang.
So, and if you look at it, so that's a good game. That's because those guys always put out great content, right?
I will disagree.
It's still a great game. That's fine. You can disagree with me, but
yeah,
look,
that's definitely personal.
The fact of the matter is, in my opinion, that game is not as story focused as the previous Horizon games. It's more focused as a game as a service where they can constantly add updates to where they can keep you playing it in Game Pass. That's
you want them Hot Wheels?
Yes, exactly. Like I don't like. To me, it doesn't even compare to the third one when I look back at it now.
One of my favorite DLCs ever. But yeah,
exactly.
I hear you, but they add the 10 chapter stories in Horizon 4. Man.
Yeah, and then you get Crackdown 3, and that's going to be, let's face it, probably something in the 60s Metacritic now, right? So you're going to have three or four of these 60 low rated things. Like Sony and Nintendo don't have to respond to this. When you're putting out 90 plus rated Metacritic games that are critical hits like they are, hell no, you don't got it. Did you see how many people bought Smash Brothers? What was it, like 5 million or something in the opening month? Like, no wonder you have to do that. But they don't have to answer. They don't have to answer Game Pass.
It goes back to the gold seal, like Nintendo did in the late 80s and carried it through. And listen, you want to pick on a game, pick on like a Days Gone. Like Days Gone, you had Colin Moriarty saying that this thing looked like it was going to be a mess. They went back to the drawing board. They went back. They put money into it. They gave them time. But you can definitely tell that Sean Layden probably showed up, and he put like his foot on their throat and was like, "You will make a decent game." They're like, "We will make a decent game." You know what I mean? Like, yeah, of course you will. Like, that's the thing. And now Days Gone, people are crap preloaded and he can't pre-ordered. He can't even stand it. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's the gold seal of approval. Meanwhile, you got Phil showing up with a latte at Rare being like, "Oh yeah, hey guys, what's going on? You guys hiring more people? That's cool. Guys, if you guys want, I brought extra muffins. You guys take a break. Take a break. I just want to see what's going on. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You got all the time in the world. Take your time on that.
The fact that they said they put more money on Crackdown, though, it made us think, okay, cool. They're working on it. They're doing all the details. They're fixing it. But now hearing, I don't know anymore, because I've been on this roller coaster with Crackdown since it was announced and teased and cloud this and no cloud that. And now Terry Crews, okay, cool. The trailers look hot. But now I'm like, well, I don't know. I have to wait to actually play it now. It's really confusing.
Foxy, I think the single player of Crackdown is going to be a lot of fun. Okay? I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
PlayStation guys, there was Prince Gaming. I forgot his full name on YouTube. I've watched his videos for a while, and he definitely favors PlayStation. He got this game. He lives in Manhattan. He did kind of like a quick kind of review on it. Even though he said, and this is his PlayStation coming out, I'm not going to play it anymore after I'm done with the story. But everything he said about what goes on in the game, the graphics, the gameplay, he said how much fun he was having playing the game. So I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when it comes to the single player, as long as you're wearing your common sense goggles while you're playing the game. Yeah.
That sounds like a sock account to me, honestly. I think that's an Xbox fanboy posing as a PlayStation guy. I don't know who's going to come to you and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? But Yeah. Anyway, I just think that this comes down to a leadership problem, like Mooch was saying, because it's Phil's responsibility to can things at a certain point that are just not working out. And it's his, all these people that are in leadership positions over there to kind of micromanage these developers or choose the right ones. They had multiple teams working on it. We all understand, like with the cloud tech, it was bought out by Epic, and there's some things going there. But like the thing is, the reason why they continue to push the multiplayer and kept this game going is because it was related to the cloud tech, and that's what they've been all about since 2013. Any other company, if they would have done this situation, would have been like, hey, this cloud shit ain't working out. It's taking way too long. The development process is not going the way we want it. Let's focus on that single player. We'll pump money into that, and then we'll cut the multiplayer out, and then we'll cut our losses and just go with the single player.
Absolutely. Because
they did put money into the single player. I can honestly say that, because from what I saw in 2017 to what I saw in 2018 was night and day. The graphics, the cell shading, the way it looks, the way that Terry Crews looked in the trailers. Go back and look at that footage of those.
They just showed a new trailer on Inside Xbox as well.
It looks good,
awesome.
Right? Yeah, so that single player
looked really good.
Yeah.
So if the multiplayer shit and you're just funneling money into it, it's not going to work out. Cut it. Cut it 2 years ago. And focus on the single player. They could have got the single player out, and then boom, you don't have any of this shit. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you know what? Like for me personally, like I said, people that are like, hey, the single player looks crap, or it looks like a 360 game. I don't know what game they're looking at, because I think it does look good. Now, the people that defend not having the party system, those are the people I kind of look side eye at a little bit. Like, I'm an Xbox dude, but you can't play with like me and Xbot. And
I'm not going to play the multiplayer now. I'm going to wait.
Can't. Yeah, who the hell? And the problem is, Foxy, is who's going to be around a week or 2 weeks from now or longer when they finally implement this, because there's so many games coming out.
Anthem,
it's the generation. Anthem starts Friday. I got to be honest with you. EA Access. I have EA Access. I have the game. Like, I'm playing Anthem Friday. Like,
sorry,
Crackdown. But like the whole thing is like, that's exactly it, Crap. You just said it yourself. This is the generation of what have you done for me lately? Gaming is becoming a lot more like sports. Whereas if you don't win right away, fans get angry. And a lot of people in the chat are like, come on, Mooch, come on, Crap. You guys can't be saying this stuff. Come on, Saul, come on. It's like, the point of the matter is, it's like, trust me, there is, and Luca gave the best. Like, she gave the best defense we could. It
was the best defense ever.
Like, it's not like we want to, but the problem is there's a leadership issue over there. And I've been saying this for a very long time. Nobody wants to get around. Everybody's like, Phil's doing such a great job. He's doing great. Never seen anybody like him. Come on. Like, realistically, the point, right? It's like, come on, for God's sakes. Like, Sean Layden has no personality, okay? He's not everybody's friend on Twitter, okay? He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that. He doesn't show up with like cool T-shirts showing a game that's coming out in 7 years. He doesn't do that. But the point of the matter is that he gets the job done. And like, I would rather Phil get the job done and stop being everybody's friend. And let's get down to business. You've got
so far he has gotten the job done. I
know
know
Satya Nadella has gotten the job done. That's
not with games.
Phil's just following his orders.
In terms of what people think about this platform, even with all the negativity, I've seen a huge turnaround in the gaming community, and with that, a lot of that kumbaya and stuff like that has a lot to do with it. They had a whole bunch on their table, especially Phil when he took over. Like, he had to convince Satya why they needed games.
Or Satya convinced him, this is what you're going to do, or there won't be an Xbox. And he's like, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, because we're not privy to know who came up with the idea of Game Pass, right?
That's never been. We do know that they had no budget, basically. We know that. Yeah. We know they weren't.
That's
look at the game. Look at the games we got in like an 18-month span. We got Halo Wars 2, a Forza game.
You don't think that they have specific analysts that crunch numbers and saw like what trends are happening? Like, they have people that do this. It's not like, Phil Spencer was he was predicting the future.
Agreed with Saul.
It's not one man coming up with an idea, and it hasn't even been confirmed that he was the dude that put this up there. Like, they saw Phil as this guy that has a good personality.
Absolutely.
He has great knowledge in the business, so they promoted him. It doesn't mean he's the savior. And the thing is like, the proof is in the pudding. we need games, and we need games that aren't subpar. And I made a video about this, and here's the facts. If you want to follow someone that says nothing but positive things about your brand of choice, you're probably a fanboy at the polar spectrums, okay? Because that's not the way life works. It's not all positive, and it's not, you know, this and that. So I just saw all these negative, you know, these dislikes just getting slammed on my video about Crackdown, and it boggled my mind, because when I woke up and I saw the headline that you couldn't play with your friends, I thought it was a joke. I honestly thought it was a joke, because it didn't register in my brain. Right. So I was triggered. So I made a video, because I thought everybody else was going to think the same way. I thought it was common sense, but then I got this blowback from that other side, and it's crazy, man. I mean,
well, yeah, you know what's funny is, so me and Mooch, we're constantly like communicating. So he messages me, "It's a never was." I'm like, what? Like first thing in the morning, and I'm like, well, hold on. So it's
hard to find a different Mighty Ducks Emilio Estevez movie gift.
I know. Okay? But look, it's true. Like that multiplayer will die out super fast without it. Here's the thing. I do think Phil. I want to be honest. I think Phil helped save Xbox. But if you look at some of the stuff that's going on, it's clear that their idea is to have their games on every damn thing. And you don't need to look any further than Hellblade going to the Nintendo Switch, right? That, you know, they acquired them. I'm sure that was something.
But that game was made and put out there before the acquisition.
I get that, but all that stuff had to have been, like, this seems like it's probably a newer thing, right? Like, it doesn't seem like an older thing to me. So, and if you look at some of the fine print into what some of these other developers have said, like In Exile, they're like, well, you know, we're definitely publishing on PlayStation these games, and we're open to doing it with next game, right? Like, how can they be open to do? What do you mean open to doing it next game too? You know, like those are the things that kind of make you scratch your head a bit with what they're talking about, and where you hear Phil go, "Hey, you know, any platform," because I never thought I'd live to see a day where Windows was on Apple stuff, right? But it is. You know, and so like, and I get it. I guess that's the future. And I'm just this old guy trying to cling to the past way of gaming. But to me, that's really, I don't know.
It is odd, but as long as it works on my Xbox and I can invite my friends, that's all I can
do. But crap, you know, in that aspect, I don't think you're the old guy in the old way of thinking when it comes to gaming, because like they have their first party studios. They need to develop for the Xbox platform. Now, if other devices, when they're using you know, the xCloud, if people want to stream it to other devices and stuff like that, I don't have a problem with that. But to have it run locally on other hardware and stuff like that, yeah, that would be an issue for your first party studio to be making games for, you know, every device that's within that whole category. You know what I'm saying? All the
hey, Kurasina does say I'm the old guy clinging to the old ways. So I guess the new ways is everything's on everything, and we're playing.
But like, what I mean, Xbox games are on PC already, so plus it's like
an open platform. Plus, I mean, we can.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we can see where they're going with this. As for Hellblade being on the Switch, Hellblade wasn't even on the Xbox first. It was on PlayStation and PC. Yeah. Then it went to Xbox. Yeah. It going to Switch isn't surprising to me. Just like Outer Worlds going to PlayStation isn't surprising to me.
Well, yeah, because I mean, that deal was signed well in advance, but Hellblade launched like 2 years ago on PlayStation.
It still has the contract, no matter what, right?
Yes, I mean, I
don't think it had anything to do with that, though.
I don't think so either, dude. That's my point. I think that they just were like, hey, let's put it on the Switch. You know,
the thing with the old guard and the new guard and all this other bullshit. And here's the deal: like the future's clear. All right, Sean Layden, just go read his comments. He sounded like Phil Spencer when he talked about it doesn't matter. You know, he brought up Xbox, he brought up Nintendo and barriers and playing anywhere. This isn't like something that's just maybe going to happen. It's going to happen. Like being restricted to a console, that is going to go away, right? And they're going to be services. That's what they're going to be. It's going to be like a Netflix situation where you have an app. It doesn't matter if you're playing on a TV, a smartphone, a device that floats in the air. I don't know, play it on a toilet. It doesn't matter where you play it. And that's why they stood up on stage together. These dudes are going out to dinner. They're friends. you know, they're probably laughing at the console warriors in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, Xbox fanboys and this, that, and, you know, and behind the scenes, they're just saying, hey, this is the future. And these guys have no idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're friends. It's a business thing, and they see what's happening going forward. Google sees it. Amazon sees it. I think we all need to just understand that it's happening.
Well,
you know?
the thing I would say is this: there's a difference between accepting things and just because you think that's the way it should be or the way that it's going to be, and saying, hey, you know, maybe it doesn't have to be. Because I think as gamers, that if we always want that choice of local hardware as well, then we can speak up and get that.
Crap, like,
not going anywhere.
No, but here's the deal. Like, it will go somewhere in the far future. That's what I'm talking about. It's a process. So what I'm trying to say is, like, even if you were resistant against you know, standard definition programming on your television and moving to HD, even if you threw a boycott or you complained about it, it eventually got to a point where they said, hey, we're no longer supporting standard definition content. You have to get an antenna to put on HD content. Or if you really like, you know, CD players in your car and you want to buy a new car with a CD player, eventually you can't do that. That shit just changes to a point where you are, even if you throw a fit or you say this or I'm resistant against change,
it's already done.
Change happens. Okay,
I got a CD player, right? Man. I'm rocking that life, dude. I'm just saying, man.
It's like how the iPhone took away the headphone jack despite people complaining about it, including me. I hate that they did that, and they just don't care. They're like, yeah, it's gone. Sucks to suck. Like,
Luca, that is probably the best example. And Crap gave it so much shit, and then Samsung's like, "Hey, that is a good idea. We're getting rid of it too." And it's like, now it's okay, right? Like,
yeah,
it's
you
okay
see a bunch of new devices doing it too.
I don't know. My
Crap, you have a phone from 3 years ago. Listen,
no, I just got this.
I just got this.
Well, no, but my thing about it is, and that's exactly it. What Crap's talking about, excuse me, what Salty was talking about, and what Luca's example was with the iPhone is what I kind of mean. If you're going to do something, do it and keep moving forward. Don't backtrack. Don't do this. Don't do that. And it's like, that's what it seems like with Microsoft. It's like, it seems like there's a lot of wishy-washy stuff going on. I think that Crap, let's get back to what it is. Crackdown, right? Crackdown should have been a single-player game. Everyone that loves Crackdown would still, think about all the people you see on social media. All the people on social media that are like, I love Crackdown. Stop bashing it. It's my favorite game. They played the single player. That's what they can't wait for. Then Xbox did their promotion. And listen, give them time. I'm not making fun of that. I'm not saying that's a problem. But the problem is they're rushing it out. And like you said, they stealth. Okay?
Yeah.
They stealth.
That's my problem.
The fact that there's not going to be... who wants to... Friday night. Everybody works such a long week, right? We all work our asses off. Everybody can't wait to come home and game with their friends. You get home.
I got to do a podcast.
You bet your ass you're going to be there. 7 to 9, Crossfire, folks. Book 78, shameless plug. But my point being is, okay, after your Crossfire session, all you guys will be there. You go to play this game, and you're like, let me get my friends in here. And then there's no friends option, and you got to play with Joe Blow from Oklahoma.
Hey, now like, tell me this: what a debacle that would have been, Mooch, if that didn't leak out that you couldn't play with your friends. So launch day comes, and everybody's like, "How do I invite my friends? How do I invite my friends?" Right? And then they're like, right? Because to be honest with you, it's totally ridiculous, and it still pisses me off.
It's a huge fuck up, man. It's huge.
It is.
I think it would have came up regardless because of the tech test. I saw Mel counting down 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody jump in, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's happening right now?"
You know, yo, Fox, when you say that, if you notice, the people like me, O-Snaps, and Blades were on the East Coast. We constantly got put together.
Now, does Blades play on his Xbox, or was he playing with PC with you guys?
He was on his Xbox, man.
Okay, just checking.
I was actually gaming with Blades last night. Awesome, dude. Awesome, dude.
But on his Xbox, or were you guys cross playing it? Okay, just checking.
If you notice, it seemed like it was a regional thing because we had like the Don was in our party.
Yeah, you guys kept finding each other. You even ran into like Delilah and everything.
Yeah, and
you're not damage controlling the matchmaking on regions, right? We're not going there, right?
I'm just pointing something out.
Nah, it doesn't. There's no explaining this. It doesn't matter if it's regions.
First off, I'm not
sounds like it.
controlling anything.
It sounds like it.
I'm trying to figure out.
Well, you're like, hey, we're in regions, so we were playing together. Oh, it's okay. I mean, the amount of people that are actually going to be playing this game is so low that you probably did match up with someone. Brother. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So Xbot, what are you saying? And then you can rebut.
I said I noticed that, you know, when we were playing the stress test, that people who were in the same region were getting grouped within the party chat. At the end of the day, there is no excuse for this. If it was something that was a technical issue with having the destruction and everything like that, Xbox should have came out ahead of the fire and explained what was going on, and that they were trying to fix it. I'm not damage controlling.
No, but there's no reason.
It's inexcusable that they're what?
There's no reason to bring up what you're saying then. Like, what's the point? We were in the same region, so therefore it's okay, or something's okay about it.
Okay.
So what are you talking about it for? I'm trying to understand why.
Well, if you let me finish, then you might understand. I'm trying to figure it out why this is going on, because it is such a staple in today's gaming to have multiplayer lobbies, getting your friends in. Like, why the hell is this omitted? And I shouldn't have to, as a gamer, try to figure it out. The company, the developer that is making and putting the game out should be out there explaining what is going on and why such a staple is not there. That's what I'm saying. But I'm trying to figure it out anyway, because I am into knowing what the hell is going on.
Let me pay this bill real quick. Midway Monster says PlayStation doesn't sound confident in their system if they keep denying crossplay.
What happened?
He says PlayStation doesn't sound confident in their system if they keep denying crossplay.
No, actually, I think they sound overly cocky in their system and saying they don't need crossplay.
Yeah.
Well, no, he said that Sean Layden said that all they got to do is ask.
Yeah, but then they've had multiple developers come out and counter him on that exact statement, saying they've asked 1 million times and Sony has replied with no. And then Sean Layden also said something to the effect of, it's not as easy as a toggle switch. And then the developers actually combatant that one and said, it's as easy as a toggle switch and I can show you. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think Xbot nailed it, to be honest. That is what it is. Sony's trying to say we don't really need crossplay. They don't want it. And to be honest with you, again, from a business standpoint, I don't blame them for not wanting it. They want you to buy their console, right? Yeah. So, like, you want to play this game and with your friends, buy it over here and play in our ecosystem. I know it's a very traditional way of thinking, and I think Sony right now is scratching their heads at the boardroom right now, as we speak, as a matter of fact. And they're probably saying, you know, we don't want to do this, but we have to because you've got Google, you've got Amazon, you've got Microsoft, you've got Verizon trying to get in on the gaming picture, and it's all streaming, and it's on multiple devices. So Sony can't just sit there and be like, oh, we're just going to have, you know, PlayStation Now, and we're just going to have, you know, it's got to be more than that. So they have to expand, and it's because technology is pushing them to do it. But in all honesty, coming from the standpoint from where they are and even where they see next generation, they don't want to do it, and I don't really blame them. So Microsoft is in the forefront here, and you have to tip their cap to them there. I don't think a lot of people are going to use it as far as the hardcore, but as far as getting the casual and the quote-unquote 2 billion gamers out there for consumers, that's the direction you have to go in if you're trying to do it from a future business standpoint. You have
we got 550 watching. Please hit the like button. Let's get over 200 real quick. That wouldn't kill you guys, would it? Hit that like button. I don't think so. Just, you know, do it. We're doing a hell of a show for you guys. It's intense, folks. Let's do it. Yes. You're right. Here's the thing. Sean Layden speaks like a man who has heard from multiple developers that crossplay is going to be the way they have to do, or the way it's going to go, or the highway. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's they're gonna have to bow down to that, especially next generation.
The backlash is pretty bad too.
Well, yeah, they can wait, and you know, until they're like the absolute last people to say on that whole avenue. Because I know Lucas said the backlash has been crazy, but at the end of the day, people are like, oh yeah, that's fucked up. But look at that Crackdown over there. Like there's other things going on.
Yeah, they forget about it a week later. Yeah,
well, I understand that they forget about it, but like as more and more developers come out and say, hey, you know, I'd really like crossplay on my game, it's just going to keep getting brought up. Like,
yeah, it's a talking point that's been
getting brought up.
Yeah, it's been happening for months on and off.
Forget about it for a little bit, it gets brought up again and again and again and again, and then when Greg Miller actually said something, that's when you knew it was a wrap. It was like, oh, okay, they're definitely doing this then. They can't. Like the problem with these corporations is when they get too ahead, right? They think that they don't have to do anything or do any of that extra stuff. Like, well, I don't want to do it. I don't have to do it. We're already on top. But the thing of it is, they remember how things were with the PlayStation 3. They're probably considering their options closely. Sean Layden's probably like, we really don't want to do this. But you know what? We're looking into it. We're probably going to do it because they don't want to get left behind. That's what happened with Nintendo. They got left behind. We don't want that to happen. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, crossplay's happening. It's going to happen eventually, whether it's this gen or happen. So people being upset about it, there's no point because it's still going to happen. Your feelings don't matter. It's going to happen.
100% correct, Luca.
Rumble Foreskin. He says, Crackdown 3, you guys are asking too much from a game that is nothing more than a proof of concept. An announcement they had a passion to make a great game, and now it's turned into a test bed for next-gen tech. Here's the thing. I was not the one beating the drum on the pre-alpha stuff. That was a tech demo that they showed in 2015. I don't care that that's obviously downgraded into a smaller. I get it. That's pre-alpha shit. It was like that was like they were moving around with a PC debug system. So obviously that's not the game. I don't care about that. I get the proof of concept. And I also am excited about maybe doing that in the multiplayer in Gears. I can imagine like stuff falling apart and Halo. So I'm excited about that. The problem is the backdoor lie that they didn't tell us, right? Like you're not able to do that. That's just like Sony, very scumbag, you know, oh, hey, all they got to do is ask us. And then you got multiple developers say, hey, we asked. And they said no multiple times. So that's a problem. I mean, and
at the end of the day, Jim Ryan also was the one who said we have to protect the children. So I mean, it's just like, come on, we know what's up. No matter what Sean Layden says, we know what's up.
How dare you want crossplay with the Switch? We need to protect the children.
Well, yeah, you can't have Minecraft going there, and you know what I mean. Like, but look, like I said, it is kind of ridiculous. But I do kind of want to talk about some more of the Sean Layden stuff because the interview was actually good. Like, I got a little bit more respect for the guy. Lost a little bit when he talked about how the crossplay stuff was going, but he does bring up some good points about the future PlayStation exclusives. They want less of them, which makes you go, oh. And then you read it. He wants his developers to take the time. They got this really good thing, like first, best, whatever, which I thought was, like Mooch said earlier, like the Nintendo seal of quality. So those of you who don't know what that is, back when video games died out and there was a video game crash in the 80s, one of the main reasons for that was anybody could put out as many games as they wanted on like an Atari, right? And there was no way at that time to know a good game from a bad game. So when a good game came out and was like $35, like people like casuals or whatever would go into there and they'd see like Chuck Wagon or a bunch of knockoff games 5 for $25, and they would buy the 5 for $25. While they'd get home, those games sucked. So, you know, that helped cause some of the video game crash. Nintendo came back and saved everything with the NES and the seal of quality, which meant if you were a developer, you could only develop 5 games and you had this special key that had to go on your disc, right? You only got 5 of these, right? So that like helped save game. And you knew if it had the seal of quality, it had to be a good game. And to me, what's happening with Sony is, especially not at the beginning of this generation, because they had their stinkers, right? And I get that, but later in the generation, nobody can deny when you're playing a PlayStation exclusive that quality and that, you know, just a really polished game is going to be there. You know, the Uncharted's and, you know, the, what the hell else is there, Mooch? You know, God of War, Spider-Man. These are really polished games.
Even the games that you're saying, quote unquote, stinkers, okay? Those are games you didn't care for.
Well, I mean,
for the most part, they played well, and I know you keep going to the order all the time.
Wasn't great.
Okay, but I mean,
a real stinker.
I'm not a big fan of Killzone, Shadowfall, but Killzone was still a quality game. You may not. No, no, you might not have you might not have liked it. I don't like it. I don't. I really don't.
You want a copy? I still have it.
Of course, I'll take a copy. If
His name's Moot, damn it.
Yes, the DM's open, buddy. Hit it up.
Back from me, man. So I can send it to you. Yeah,
that's fine. PO box. Listen, I got to be honest with you real quick. That's the point. Crap's making a point. And the point is that I didn't like those games either. But they weren't up to my fancy, but they were still a quality product. That's the thing.
You mean polished. I mean, you could say polished. Yeah, right. Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah. It like polished. Like I would say Drive Club wasn't, and I don't really consider the order
I think the order and Drive Club are in the other camp. But
yeah,
but in those crap, you could say that they were subpar. But subpar to what now? Subpar to Sony's level?
Yeah. And then when you look at Microsoft's, with the exception of maybe Sunset Overdrive, even Quantum Break, maybe not as polished. I'm trying to think of obviously Rise, not polished. Dead Rising 4, not polished. I mean, that's multi-plat now anyway. Even their staples like Halo and Gears, not as polished as previous ones.
Halo was the best multiplayer in that franchise. Halo 5, hands down, brother.
Yeah, but not as. But the single player wasn't as polished, though, right? I mean,
that is the question there. But yo, when it comes down to this, all I see when you guys are talking about, Sean Layden saying, we're going to do less games, but we're going to put more work into them. If you look at what Xbox is doing, they're trying to develop that whole Netflix for gaming, and they're grabbing up studios and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure they're not done with that. Like throughout the next few years, you're going to see them acquiring more studios to put more games into that service. So you got Xbox and Microsoft trying to kid out more first-party games that they want to put on Game Pass. So you hear Sean Layden's like, "Well, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna put down less but better quality."
I have a counter for that. The thing is like if you look at the studios that Microsoft has snatched up, a lot of them are AA in quality, So, and then one of them in Exile is more like PC games. So, how many of those studios are actually going to be putting out AAA level?
We Happy Few Part 2.
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's
the fever.
That's the differential there,
Didn't Matt Booty say that they were gonna, have a variety there? It's not all going to be AAA. So
no, but the thing is what he's saying. What Xbox is saying is he's putting a counter argument to this whole let's put out less at high quality. So
I'm agreeing with you, Salty. I understand your point. I'm saying that like. AA compared to AAA. I mean,
Well, Salty proved my point anyway. So
hold on.
How did I prove your point?
People asking me. Hold on. They're saying Halo and Gears not polished. Listen, when Halo 5 launched, it didn't have the stellar like Xbox. You remember, it didn't have what it has now in the multiplayer. It was kind of there wasn't a forge or anything.
It was definitely kind of like bare bones in the beginning, and
exactly. So
in updates month after month.
Exactly. So that's what I'm talking about. And the single player was definitely not polished because it had lock. So I'm just going to say that.
Wow.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then for Gears, I liked it. I thought they did a good job with it. The problem that I had with Gears was I wasn't a big fan of the DB bots in the story.
Personal preference. Get out of here. It's still awesome. Get out of here.
I know. I also wish that they would have had the 4-player co-op for the campaign again. Like to me,
personal preference again.
I know. I'm just saying. Okay. Well, look, you can maybe give them a pass.
I'm with Crappy with that for the 4-player co-op.
Yeah,
well, like Gears had 2 before, and then they added 4. Yeah, it sucks that they took away 2 extra players, but still, it's not like they haven't done that.
I'm sorry, babe. It's just kind of like with Mass Effect 3 compared to 2. They gave you less companions, so I don't even know why they would take away. You were with JD and Kate the entire time. You could have had at least 3. Another person.
Yeah,
at least.
But it's still awesome game. I don't care what crap he says.
Hey, no. Listen, I think it's great.
A bad game. He's just saying that.
Yeah, I'm just saying as compared to Gears 3, I didn't have that same kind of wow factor. You know what I mean? And it didn't seem as like I don't know. Just it seemed like not as great. It was definitely a huge step up from that terrible Judgment game. And then, like I said,
of course,
I'm
messing Halo 4, with you guys. I'm messing.
I
with you guys.
Halo 4 had a great story in my opinion. And even though I like the multiplayer, a lot of people didn't because they didn't like the classes and stuff like that. I actually did like that.
Yeah, me too.
But then it divided people because you had to pay for the content. or whatever for the maps, and people didn't do that. I liked how they did the multiplayer in 5, but the story, like, I didn't even remember who the hell everybody was aside from Locke, and only because it turned into a joke, right? And they misled everybody with that advertisements, and I've gone over this a million times. They had that whole thing with the advertising, right? It's Locke versus
that
Chief.
Advertisement
the ultimate,
was pretty epic.
Yeah,
man.
right? Like like Chief has gone off the rails, you know what I mean? And
I think they've kind of taken the Gears of War story off the rails a bit. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like, they just introduced James, and we're just getting used to who he is, and now in 5, James is gone.
Oh, I hate James, so I don't care.
I didn't care. No, and you know what, Luca, guess what? Totally agreeing with you. I didn't care for that either. But I'm like, they just introduced him. I actually want Marcus. Like, the game should, like, that's why I really appreciate what they did with, like, Uncharted. Like, and I know that they did Uncharted Lost Legacy, and I get it. But that was like a spin-off DLC thing. We'll see what they do with Uncharted moving forward. But, like, you had Naughty Dog come out and say, like, sorry, this is the end of Nathan Drake, and it's over. Right? Like, or at least Naughty Dog's done with it. They may pass it on to another studio.
Well, supposedly Sony opened a studio in California,
right? I know,
ex Naughty Dog people, and they're rebooting it, or they're continuing the story or something.
I hope it's
which I'm
Nathan
actually
Drake.
Happy about that, because that's one of the few franchises I really like.
I hope it's not Nathan Drake's son's best friend Neil. Okay.
I hope that Nathan has a random sister show up, you know?
Right?
Oh, no, damn.
It seems like Gears of War, we went from Marcus and Dom, and now it's like, I don't know where they're going. Like, James we didn't even know where James was going, and James is now not there. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, he's there, but he's a side character. And I'm like, so why'd you even bring James into it? Like, you should not even had James. You started with Kate.
They brought James in because it would be an easier pill for people to swallow than Kate. Like, I mean, because, you know, you play as Marcus.
Continuation.
You can play as, okay, I'm playing as his son. Okay, this isn't so bad. You know, that kind of thing.
That's literally my feeling about it, because I love
James.
Marcus.
Yeah, I don't like
Marcus.
him either. I don't like him either.
I couldn't stand him, to be honest with you.
I hate him. So.
Like, when
I was all about Marcus and Anya, but you know what?
Yes.
It was an easier pill to swallow, because I was like, well, that's their son, so I guess. And now I like the game, because I got used to the characters. I want to know more of the story, but he's still going to be in the game. But like you said, more in the background.
Right. And I'm wondering where they're going to take this whole thing. And like, that's coming out later in the year. But like, it goes to the point of the same thing with like Halo. And they did that whole like build-up story, and then it's kind of like, all right, so when you played the game, it didn't live up to the commercials. It didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah.
Plus, you played Master Chief less than Locke, so that was very disappointing.
Well, yeah, exactly. See, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at it, the stuff that they've come out with, and if that wasn't the case, maybe not so much with Gears, because I think those guys did put out probably the best looking, or one of the best looking games this generation with Gears 4. But Halo, if they didn't kind of screw up Halo a little bit with the polish and what people wanted, they wouldn't be taking so long to make this new one and get what the fans want. And you know what I mean? I think that it's quite obvious that some of that stuff has hurt that brand a little bit, but I think it's still very strong. And with a great new Halo game that's going to come out Infinite, I think they'll do a good job with that. But I just think if you look at their games, they're not the quality of what the Sony ones are offering, right? When you see, and I'm not even a fan of The Last of Us, but if you look at just the quality of The Last of Us 2, there's nothing like that on it. But again, I think in the future Microsoft's going to have that. I just think that Sony well, probably not on PlayStation, but you know, because Sony is very kind of, I don't know, but they're buddy. So I tossed it back and forth. So maybe you'll be able to stream those games. You'll be able to stream those games on your PlayStation in the future. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, you could do it in VR, Crappy. It's fine. It'll be okay.
VR? What's that?
It's on PlayStation. It's your favorite thing. But
I know.
What it sounds like you're saying is Xbox needs to be more like PlayStation and hold back their titles until they're tip-top shape.
They don't need to be like PlayStation. They need to be like quality.
Get something that's not. Yeah, get something to where you don't spawn in on the floor, or you know what I mean. Like, I don't understand.
I do want to say that when I played with Dealer a couple nights later, we didn't have any bugs, so I don't know what was going on with that. But I'm with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really weird with that, but
my little brother played and he never had any of those issues, and I was like, "Are you sure you're not?" And I watched him play for a while, and he was just fine. But everybody else is having issues.
With the Division 2 data, I didn't have any issues, but you know, Mooch and Salty did. So
I couldn't hear my guns or the enemies around me.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues. So
no, Luca, you know what's funny? It's not about individual issues, to be honest with you. Like, let's just put it in this standpoint for Division 2. Like 1.8, that everyone's like, oh my God, Mooch, you've been talking shit about Division, and 1.8 has been so great. It's what we've been asking for. 1.8 came out a short time ago, right? Now we have Division 2.0, and you're telling me between 1.8 and 2.0, you can't get the rumble working and the sound, and I'm down to 5 frames per second. Come on, not even talking about like I don't like the backdrop or I don't like this. I love that they're going to Washington, which has spent more time in New York, but that's me. But like the point of the matter is that like they are having major technical issues 3.5 weeks before launch. That's
definitely concerning. Yes,
it's concerning. That's all. I mean, and I was actually, Luca, I was more excited for Division 2 because I'm tired of going through what I call the growing pains. And I am so amped for Anthem, right? But you know we're going to go through the whole, this thing is, this Javelin's too OP, this one needs to get nerfed, this isn't raw, this is that, right? It's the growing pains of a new IP. We get it. We've all been there this whole generation. Each of us have gone through it. But I thought with Division 2, we were past that. And now here we are. We got to go through growing pains with the Division staff.
Yeah, it should be like 1, but better.
Right.
With more features in a different location.
Who doesn't get that?
You know, you guys are definitely not the only ones I've seen expressing their concerns. You know, my friends Slomo and Supervillain, who are also Division veterans, were like, I don't know about this, Chief. Like, there's some issues here. I didn't play the Division 1, so I don't have that background. So I don't know about.
That's why you sleep better than we do. Division ruined people. Like I was really hoping that we were going to go in and have fun with this game and play with your friends. And like, it should be, let me put it this way. You might not like the game. That's a you problem or a me problem, but the game would run sound. We went through the growing pains. And the problem is we didn't yet. So now we're going to go through the growing pains with Anthem. You know, we're going to have some issues this upcoming weekend, whatever. It's par for the course. Yeah. And now we're going to do it with Division 2. It's like, come on, man. What is wrong with this industry? This is a billion billion-dollar industry, and people just can't get their shit together. And people are like, come on, Mooch, take it easy. Like, take it easy.
You know what happened?
3 years to fix Division 1. You can't, like, implement those fixes into Division 2? It's the same game with a different backdrop.
Yeah, I like
Mooch, you know what happened? x86 architecture. You remember when they first started talking about it, going to consoles, and they're like, oh, we'll be able to update your games and you know, keep them alive and you know, quicker fixes and all that good stuff. They didn't just didn't tell you that they weren't going to completely finish the game before it launched, and they were just going to go and kind of like stitch it together as you go. This is what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. That's gonna be interesting. Hey, hit that like button, fools! I gotta keep telling you people. Oh, Mooch, here we go. This year's Call of Duty. Whoo, we're going back to having a campaign, my friend.
Okay, real quick, before you start.
Yeah,
I am genuinely baffled that they are putting in a campaign for the next Call of Duty.
Thank you.
I definitely did not see that coming. I mean, I figured, the success of success of this Call of Duty. Yeah, no, they're definitely never going back. And wow, like I'm genuinely shocked. So I mean, I guess they still can surprise us. And go ahead, Mucha. I'll just be here.
Well, let me tell you, if you guys didn't already know that I love Luca, now you already know that I love Luca. Listen, she's 110% right. There's no reason for it. And allow me just for a second, Crap, because a lot of people, including yourself, don't like to just believe Mooch. So you guys all love the famous Ed Boon, right? Someone says Ed, people yell Boon on Twitter. So Ed Boon, you guys all know him from the fame of Mortal Kombat. He tweets out one day ago, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And then he has like little different segments. Great game. #1 selling console game this year. Sold more than Black Ops 3. And then in quotes, fell short of the company's expectations. And then he has like a GIF being like, what the hell? Point being is this. You guys can all say that you want a single-player game, and that's fine. I'm not arguing with any of you, because if that just adds more to the game for you, so be it. But as Lucas said, and as I've said before, and I believe Salty has also said before, okay, this is not the problem with Activision and their game right now in Call of Duty. You are getting beat out right now by 2 games that have been given away for free, and that's who you're pissed off at. You're pissed off at Apex Legends, and you're pissed off at Fortnite. Here's the thing. You go ahead and put in a 6 to 8 hour campaign of following around Captain Stu Nuts, okay? That is not going to save the day next year.
I got a counter argument.
You need to have a Blackout game come out for free. They already have different classes, Salt. They already have different classes.
Ding, ding.
Well, ding, ding, ding. There's no ding.
Nah. What you're saying, I don't know if you read the article or not, but this isn't going to be your status, follow Captain Stunuts type campaign. They're going open world with
they're changing it up after a decade? Yes, cool, let's hear about it.
So that's the problem with this situation. They saw the trends. They're Activision. They want to make money. Battle Royale was just starting up, right? You fast forward, it's like, oh, PUBG's popular. It's making money. At the time, it's not like Apex Legends wasn't even a thing. Okay,
right.
So they were trying to capitalize it on the trend, which was nice, and that's why the game sold as well as it did. Plus, it was made by Treyarch and it was done well.
Absolutely.
Okay, but no one's saying that. The thing is like they could put in the campaign and change it up and monetize it even more. So they see the value in that approach, like
monetize
this open world
single player.
Yes. Because they're talking about making it open world, right? Because if you look at Call of Duty World War II, right, they put in that Destiny like tower area where you can hang out with your buddies, open up loot boxes together, cha-ching, see my stuff I get, it was all about that. That's the only reason they added that is because they wanted people to see your items. And in Call of Duty, they want to monetize stuff.
If they do what you're saying, Salt, then the people that are still saying, I want a single player, aren't going to like that either.
Why?
That's not what they want. They want to follow Captain Stu Nuts around for 6 hours and watch Michael Bay explode.
They want a story.
That's what they've said for the past year.
Well, here's the thing. Let me
they're still going to complain. That's fine, so all I'm saying is they're still going to complain. That's not the single player they want.
Well, hold on. Let me kind of point out what they're actually talking about here, or what they allude to. So it looks like here's the thing. Battle Royale or Blackout should have never been there in replacement of a campaign. Blackout should have always been a free thing. It looks like, according to this investor call, they're going to do their own Battle Royale, a campaign, co-op stuff, zombies, and multiplayer. So the only thing that they're doing is adding something that should have been there in the first place. And the Treyarch
Stu Nuts is coming back.
Yeah,
for $60.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing, right? Because these other battle royales are doing the free thing, it was never a big value because you get like what, 1 map, 2 maps. That's not really replacing the campaign for those people, no matter how few it is that really enjoy those, like myself. I enjoy playing them. Here's the thing. When you have a yearly franchise as well, right? You got to have something to make it worth the $60 as well. You couldn't have just kept coming out with this multiplayer stuff, right? Eventually it would have caught up to them because people are going to go, why not just update it? Right? Why not just update it with new maps or whatever instead of charging us $60? Like I told you, and I even said that. I was like, look, eventually they're going to have to do the campaign stuff again. And the reason why they're doing campaigns is because they actually started developing this 3 years ago. So we maybe not see them do a dropping of a campaign again for a couple more years, because obviously when they start developing this, they wanted to start a campaign. Black Ops 4 was going to have a campaign, but if you're doing Modern Warfare 4, that's what makes it Modern Warfare. You got a campaign, you got a story there. People are caught up to date on that.
Black Ops, same thing can be said for
like exactly, when they're like, I want to know that story, because before the map starts, it's like you're some kind of mercenary. It sounds like it could have been an interesting story that they had cooked up, right? But we don't get to see any of that.
Well, here's what I'm saying, and I'm not sure where Salt was going with the open world. If that's what they're doing, that's a whole nother world, but that changes the game immensely too. What I'm saying is, you take the same formula they have right now, okay, they don't change much about Blackout, and you just have that as a game mode, and you add in the 6 hour Michael Bay campaign, they're still going to fall on their faces to whatever the next free battle royale is. And let me tell you something. That's why Destiny 2 sold very well for them. Activision came out and said didn't sell to our expectations. Blackout and Black Ops 4 sold better than Black Ops 3 and was the #1 selling game, okay? And still they're saying didn't meet our expectations. They're pissed that they're getting beat out by Apex Legends right now, and they're pissed they're getting beat out by Fortnite. They made good money on Black Ops 4. So my point is if you guys are, if it's two different conversations here, Crap. If you just want to say, hey, more value for you and other gamers that feel the way you feel about the campaign, I say bravo. I'm not going to argue with you. For me, it does nothing. The campaign's never done anything for me, but that's not the conversation. The conversation is the multiplayer. If they're not going to make the multiplayer, they have to change with the times. Call of Duty's got to make their version of Blackout free and then charge accordingly, and then do their regular TDM and their Captain Stu Nuts trail for you guys. That's the way it is.
If you're making the BR free, it's not really part of the game then.
Correct. It'll be a separate entity.
So that doesn't add value to the game that you're buying then. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
All right. So what we were saying before when we were making this argument before Apex Legends dropped, me and you were talking about it because we were on that side.
Yes.
We said that multiplayer is important for Call of Duty. That's correct. But they need to add value in there in addition because they have to make the BR free.
You're right, but you have to understand times have changed since that conversation. Hear me out.
That's what I'm saying.
If they're going to be in the BR world, okay, they have to put out a free game. Okay.
So
they have to. There's nothing they can do.
What you're saying, so the BR needs to be free, right?
How would
it needs to be free, right?
Has to.
Okay, so that's not part of the next COD then. Because if I pick up that free BR, then I don't need to buy their game.
Well, wait a minute.
That's not adding value to the game.
Salt, that's me and you. According to Crap, he can't wait to spend $60 on Captain Stu Nuts in his next adventure.
So the fact of the matter is,
Captain Stu Nuts, I admit it.
A lot of people do. But listen.
So if they're going to make this shit free, they need to add value because essentially if you take the BR out, it's free to play. You don't have a campaign. What do you have left? Zombies and the regular multiplayer.
You have what you've had the past 10 years that everybody was like, I'm boycotting COD.
No, but those times are past, man. Like, tell me.
I just said that. Times have changed.
Okay, so so if you're Call of Duty, you're Activision.
Yes.
You're looking at it, you say, we need to continue this franchise.
Yes.
We want to continue the Call of Duty way, but normal multiplayer, people just aren't into that anymore as much. So they need to be like, hey, how can we add value to this game? Well, we can do the campaign, but we can change it up like Destiny and have a way for people to see their items and have different stuff in there and monetize it a little bit. And then we can add value in there for the campaign because the campaign before was just straight cinematic. It was short, follows Captain Stu Nuts.
I know where you're going with this, but let me just say a couple of negatives here. Not negatives, but roadblocks. 3-year development time, not enough to do what you're talking about. Number two,
how is it not?
It's not. Number two,
how long was Destiny 2? How long did Destiny 2 make?
5+ years.
No.
Yes, it was.
Destiny 2?
It was 5+. No, Destiny.
No.
Destiny.
No.
Yes, it was.
For a big company like
Destiny came out in 2014.
You don't think that they develop it with a studio like Activision could put out
it's not enough time to do a Destiny model in a 3-year, 2.5 year. You can record it, take a picture. I don't give a fuck
because it's gonna be record it because we're gonna go back and then Moose is gonna be like, well,
it's not gonna be that. So
it is.
No, let me finish my thought.
The campaign
it'll be different.
Listen, timestamp it, Salty.
It's not gonna be different. It'll be different. Everything's different every year.
And then Mooch is gonna be playing that campaign in COD and be like, you know what? I got time to play it. I didn't have enough time to put the X's and O's together. It's super fire.
They show it in May. They show it in May. I'll know by November. Listen, my point being is this: what you're talking about, it'll be maybe different to a certain extent, but it won't be to the extent you're going to. The other point I'm trying to make is this: now times have changed. They want to be on streamers' radar. Okay, so you can't put out a Captain Stu Nuts Michael Bay movie and have Battle Royale blended into that $60 package. Because people are not going to pay the $60 when they can go play a $60 value in like an Apex Legends or what comes out in the future for free. So what I'm saying to you, the future of COD looks a little like this, okay? And you're getting into some specifics, and it's not fair to say specifics and then timestamp a guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. That doesn't make any sense. You don't know either. What I'm saying to you is this. Well, listen. What I'm saying to you is this. you're going to have a more traditional campaign come back out next year. Yeah, they're going to have a couple of different like wacky things that come out with it. Okay, maybe some things you can buy in their store, but then you're going to have Team Deathmatch and you're going to have something else. Now, in order for them to be successful, BR has to be free. If not, they'll put BR again into their package. They'll put it for $60, and they'll do the same thing they did this year, where they will fall behind whatever the Apex Legends and Fortnites are on the streamers. They won't get there because you will not beat, as Xbox says all the time, you will not beat free 99. Free 99 will beat $59.99 every single day.
We're both on that same page right now.
Yes.
And shout out to Rand, because Rand was like, I can see a future where these multiplayer, games, they need to be free to play to exist in the realm.
Yes.
To be. But what we're differentiating on is because Activision doesn't want to let go of the money. They want to have their cake and eat it too, right? They want to get in this BR space, but they want to continue to have the money that comes from the Call of Duty franchise, right? Even though the multiplayer is waning in popularity, they're like, well, how? Yeah, they have. Yeah, it has to be separate BR. It has to be a way to sell that, because if it's just free, people are just going to take the free option.
Absolutely. So
people were really excited when Battle Royale was going into Call of Duty, but there was something that people, I think, forgot to think about. Yeah, when it comes to the Call of Duty fan base, they get a new game every year. All right, if you look at the Battle Royale and the structure, it's made to keep people going year after year in that Battle Royale. If you have a new Call of Duty game coming out every year with a new Battle Royale every year, to me, that's not the structure.
That's why they realize they gotta stop charging for it.
They gotta have a separate team.
It has to be separate. That's what I've been saying.
Another team? Oh, that's great.
Well, I'm not saying another team. I'm saying Battle Royale has to be free. We know that now. And Apex Legends made it a fact. You might have all said, well, I knew that. Well, good for you. But guess what? Some people didn't. Guess who didn't? Activision didn't know that. But they do now. And they will make their Battle Royale free moving forward. Listen, even Battlefield 5, okay, getting attacked by crop dusters, tanks fall from the sky.
What?
Exactly. They're going to make theirs for free. They will have Battle Royale be free for Call of Duty. And then next year, maybe Salt's somewhat right, where they'll change the single player to a certain extent, but it'll be more of what the Crapgamer, and shout out to Noof Nukem, and the guys wanted, where you go ahead and you follow Captain Stunuts through his adventures. And that's what it's going to be. It'll be that with explosions, and you'll have Team Deathmatch and Domination and all that other good stuff for your $60 value. And believe me, guess what? They won't mind doing that, because guess what Activision's doing? They're double dipping. They are double dipping. They're going to give you Battle Royale for a quote-unquote free, but you're right. You're going to buy skins. They've already got the different classes. Look at all the classes there are right now in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Tons. All they have to do is make those abilities active in the game, and you have Apex Legends in the Call of Duty world. Okay? They already have it. So they've got the model built. Go ahead, Luca.
I can't really imagine them doing anything too different with the Call of Duty campaign.
No.
Given that Activision are their scumbags and they want to do the least for the most amount of money. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see how it goes, but I mean, they're in the business of doing the least possible and profiting the most. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, we can kind of transition. Foxy, like, what do you think about this? Are you back on Call of Duty? A little campaign action?
I'm saying we'll see. I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say yes, because of how my relationship with COD is. It's always good and bad at the same time, kind of like Destiny a little bit. So I'm just going to wait and see what they show me, because I don't care for the Battle Royale stuff at all. Even if right now Apex is probably the least trash that I've played.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The least trash, you say?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's good to hear. I'm glad to see that Apex is the least trash.
PUBG.
Apex is great.
PUBG.
No, I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't even. Really
God bless you, Xbox, for saying. It was funny because shout out to Oh Snap, it's Mel. Mel was streaming, and I checked it out. She was playing PUBG, and she actually put a clip up on Twitter today. And I'm watching it, and she's riding on the motorcycle, right? And I'm watching the grass, and the grass, nothing's moving. Like, everything on the ground is like static. It's like this. It's like if you took a Bob Ross painting and put a motorcycle on it.
Yeah,
it was like nothing
happy
was
trees.
happening, right? It was like happy little weeds
trees.
and happy little trees everywhere. And she's like,
but see, that's why I'm so happy that when it comes to a game, it's not just about graphics, because at the end of the day with PUBG, the strategy that goes into it, whether you're solo or whatnot.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today, Xbox. And
if
that up.
PUBG went free to play, I think that it could pick up.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
Because it is fun, and it is
They're
a different
such
type of thing.
pompous asses, that the company, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, but the problem is, right? Like, they do it right because they're third person, and I kind of like that because you can actually see the stuff that you put on or whatever, which makes sense. Mooch is like, but listen, the gunplay is crappy in PUBG for me, right? Like, there's so many times I try to do something and my guy flips the gun side, like he goes left or right, or he like ducks, or you know what I mean? Like, it's not as easy as say like the Call of Duty Blackout or Apex, just where the gunplay is a lot more tighter for like the Twitch-based shooters and stuff like that. So I think there's room for this stuff, but Call of Duty's still big, and Call of Duty would have been big even without Blackout this time. You know what I mean? Like, and they're still gonna have some kind of go ahead.
I'm thinking about that Modern Warfare life right there. So I'm like, okay, I'm interested, but it depends on whatever I see trailer-wise or the gameplay-wise, multiplayer, like how that's going to play out. I don't care like if they add extra stuff on top, like Battle Royale mode. I don't care about that. Zombie mode. I don't care about that. It is nice if they have all that stuff together, because that's easy $60.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a lot of content for the price, right? Like, so my problem with Blackout, which by the way, I mooched it, so I don't really feel bad about it. And I actually do like the multiplayer. I played Team Deathmatch on that, or I did quite a bit, right? I thought it was a lot of fun. The problems that I had with it was, even though, I didn't pay for it, if I would have paid for it, I maybe would have been pissed, because the zombies weren't great on that. I thought Blackout was fun, but it didn't like, I like, if I didn't have people to play with, I didn't hop back on there. You know what I mean? So it was like something that I didn't spend a lot of time with. And it was broken for the first like couple weeks or something. So I didn't get into it as much as a lot of people did.
For duos or something, right?
Yeah, or no, quads. It was, I think it was
okay.
broken. Yeah. So I didn't get into it as much as I would have liked to. So, and the fact that they make you buy the whole season pass to get the maps and stuff, I thought that was kind of shitty,
They better not do that again. That's another thing I don't like.
Yeah, so with that, it's like we live in a world now where games are giving you free content, free maps for sure, right? Like, how the hell do you not have free maps at this particular juncture?
Can we give props to Respawn? Just speaking, you reminded me crap of how shitty that launch was for Blackout. And we kind of looked over it. There was like stuttering, and it was bad, man. Like, we couldn't even play
it was like
quads.
A flip book when I was playing it.
Yeah. Like, frame rate was horrible. Just the net code was horrible. And then Respawn's like, hey, we're gonna stealth release this game. Perfect, looks crispy. It's just amazing what they did with this game, and I think that's just, people just underestimate like how crazy that was, that nobody knew about this game. I mean, if they would have talked about it, it would have been shit on. Anyway, I digress. It was just an amazing launch for
Well, what was funny? What they did that was brilliant with Apex was they didn't give it to a lot of the media, right? The media weren't the ones that got this. The influencers and streamers did, right? Because if they would have given it to the media would have crapped on it. Look at what IGN did. They're like, it's garbage. Then they delete the tweet, and then they're like 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. They're very smart about that. We've been saying that traditional gaming media is dead. RIP. Like, you can get so much better stuff from like YouTuber and things like that. So in my opinion, anyway, I think that makes the most sense. But hey, Mooch, Crash Bandicoot Trilogy sells over 10 million units. What do you think about that?
I think nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and that's why everybody's on it. Listen, I got Crash Bandicoot. I
got it on 2 systems. I
played it for 15 minutes on one system, and I was like, thank God it's not whatever 1990. Who gives a shit? I think a lot of people that are on this panel have been gaming for a very long time, and regardless of age, we've been playing even retro back when we were still young, no matter what the age limit is. Again, we've done that, and I kind of want to move on. And it's nice if you want to get that for your collection. I say knock yourself out. That's what it's there for. It's why it was $29.99 or whatever it was. It was definitely discounted. Like, definitely grab that. And it does bring you down like memory lane. But the minute you play that, you're like, man, now I remember why this generation is so much better than when I was at that stage in gaming. So, I mean, listen, I bought the NES Mini, and there's still times I go back to it, and I try it out, and I hang out, and I'm like, man, you guys have no idea when I say one of my favorite games of all times is Castlevania. And Super Castlevania is on, I believe it's Super Castlevania or Super Castlevania 4, one or the other, is on the Super NES Mini. And I play it, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm enjoying it thinking about when I played the game. And I'm not enjoying it today the way I did back then. And I think anyone that's picked up Crash and wants to say, okay, wow, it looks great in 4K. It does. It does. I get it. It
looks like a damn Pixar movie.
Yeah, tip your cap to the folks that did that. You know, I mean, they're Vicarious Visions. Outstanding work by that dev team. But at the same time, you play the game, then you're like, okay, I can't wait to get back to fill in the blank. Assassin's Creed, Apex Legends, Fortnite. I don't care what you like. Call of Duty, it doesn't matter. Metro, God forbid. And I hope we have enough time in the show to talk about that.
Speaking of Metro, the board game Renegade says, good show you guys getting Metro. It looks badass. Mooch volume. Mooch, you think it looks badass? Metro, guys. Woo!
Listen, Metro's getting 8s, 8.5s. And listen, if you can go back and listen to all the footage. I've said this, I'll say it again tonight. The game looks amazing. The game has always had a bit of fun to it, but unfortunately, there's not really. Right. I'm trying to be nice.
It did.
But like realistically, it's got technical issues. All the other games have had technical issues. This one, again, no matter what review you read, I've read 3 or 4 of the big ones. They said they had technical issues. And to be honest with you, I kind of got to agree with Luca. Like you might in Xbox. The reason I said that was because I know you've enjoyed some of the
I know
the
that
story.
There's different gamers out there, man.
But it's just absolutely. And this is one man's opinion. Okay, take it with a grain of salt. But Metro games are a very niche story. It happens in the Metro, the train stations, if you will, or the under substations in Russia. And where it goes with the gigantic rats and the bat that flies over your head, and then all of a sudden now there's zombies everywhere. And to me personally, I think this is a very visual. It's a visual masterpiece. I think it looks beautiful. I think the gun mechanics are okay. There are technical flaws throughout it. They said that even some of the story kind of goes off hinge, which a lot of the Metro stories do go off hinge. And listen, I said this before. I'll say it again. Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light, I believe it's called. Mm-hmm. Those are both in Game Pass right now. Rise of the Tomb Raider, was in Game Pass. They had the exclusive deal. They had a great marketing deal with Shadow. That went in 4 months later. The Metro series, they've been pushing for a very long time. They're both $6 and $7 respectively. Trust me when I tell you guys, if this big loop of gaming that's going on in the next 6 to 8 weeks that has your money tied up, Metro will end up in Game Pass probably in 3 to 4 months. I don't think this is a must-have game if you're buying Anthem and you're buying Division 2 and you're buying Far Cry New Dawn, which I think looks great, by the way. I think Far Cry New Dawn, if you're like, well, I'm buying the other two guaranteed, but it's between Far Cry New Dawn and Metro, buy Far Cry New Dawn. I think you'll have a lot more fun with it. It's just, I don't know.
I disagree.
That's okay.
I think if you like the Metro games, Godspeed. As soon as I found out we were still playing as Artyom, I was just like, oh god, this guy. But it looks beautiful, like you said. I hope the gun mechanics are better than it was they were in
No, they're not.
Yeah. I think that if you're looking for a story-driven game, Metro is the way to go because at the end of the day, Division 2 and Anthem are like looter shooters. So I mean, yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't know about Far Cry New Dawn. It could be like a what was that? A Far Cry Blood Dragon situation
it's trash.
No, it's not that.
It's trash.
All Far Cry is trash. So
no.
Hey, this one especially. I was watching GameSpot play it. Oh my god!
I watched Rad Brad, and he was having
this.
Let's do this.
I love you so much.
I love you guys.
2000.
I can't believe I've been doing this for 10 years. You guys have been paying for my rent. I love you. Listen. Well, let me ask this. So, Salt, did you play Far Cry 5?
Yes, I did. I did a review on it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I mean, I like
it. You can't not like this. It's the same game. It's continued.
No, it's a reskin and a money grab, dude. I mean, that's all it is. Look at it. Look at the gameplay. What are they selling it for? $40 now? I mean,
$40.
Yeah, I mean that's decent. I'm pretty sure it's going to go on sale after a while.
There's a reason why they're selling it for $40.
Yeah, it's like, reskinned.
I mean, it's a reskin. I mean, if you want to go play Far Cry 5, go play it. I mean, go play Far Cry 5. It's cheaper, right?
I'll give you that. I just think that if you've played Far Cry 5 and you enjoyed it, for the continuation to be $40,
it's basically a DLC reskin for $40. I mean, if you want that, then that's cool, but it's not my bag. You know
let me tell you something, Salt. Most DLC, you'll know this, right? I don't care which DLC you've bought. Most DLC is like 10 hours. This is, I mean, you're getting, and that DLC is usually $20, 10, $15, something like that. This DLC is $40. I'm not saying you have to go get it out the gate. If you wait 3 or 4 weeks, it'll probably be $30. But I mean,
this genre, the post-apocalyptic genre, is so stacked, man. Like
it is.
I would rather play Metro over that, and I wasn't a fan of the other two. At least I'll get a pretty game when I'm playing it. Like Far Cry, not impressive, honestly. You're looking at the enemy types and the reskin and stuff like that. It's very repetitive.
Yeah.
So like I experienced that in Far Cry 5 already. Like, why do I need to do that more? I'd rather play Metro. Maybe I'll get something new there.
The devs were talking about how like they were really encouraging meaningful content, meaningful story, encouraging you to play the way that you want to play in different weapons and mods and all that stuff. So I think it's like a major upgrade from the other Metros.
I agree.
So I don't know. I would probably Metro over Far Cry New Dawn.
I agree with you guys,
but I was gonna get Metro or Far Cry, but I'm not.
Luca, here's the only combatant to that is that I truly, with all my heart, feel that this game is going to be in Game Pass very shortly. And I just think that
I can see that. Yeah.
All right. One of the counterpoints to that is, how Assassin's Creed Odyssey was looked at as like basically a reskin of Origins. I thought that a lot of people thought that because it was coming out a year later, it looked similar, and then it came out to be completely different, completely modern. Like the word spread around, and people, honestly, it was word of mouth because everybody was shitting on it. Like, this is gonna suck. This is the same thing. I could just play Origins, and then everybody said it. Like Diller was on board with it. Tells people your friends tell other people, and this, that game actually was in the top 10 for selling games. I think it might happen with this game because people that I respect on social media, like Skill Up and some other people, he was saying that he enjoys this game so much that he's not even putting his review out when the embargo lists because he wants to enjoy it. And when people say that, like, I kind of take it to heart because it's like, well, man, you're kind of making me question my opinion on this because I didn't like the other games, but damn, it's one of the best looking games on console. And if you could tell me that you're not putting your review out because you're enjoying it that much, maybe this might have a chance. Could
also be that he took a 3D bender to Vegas with his friends and didn't get to the game in time. My point is, right? My point being is that I just think that here's the situation. And so you're always usually looking out for the bottom dollar for your fans and your consumers, and I agree with you, right? And I think that this game has got Game Pass written all over it. And right now, to use your example, okay, of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, I think you're spot on. I think everything you said was 100%. So for people that like Far Cry 5, they're probably going to like Far Cry New Dawn. And again, I'm looking out for people like Far Cry's not going into Game Pass. We know that. So that's not going there. The other thing is that people have money well spent, whether they're Anthem fans or the Division fans. There's a big thing going on Twitter. You guys know it's a fun thing. It's nothing hostile. It's like, I'm buying Anthem. I'm not buying Anthem. Screw that game. I'm buying Division. I'm saving my money for that game. I want to put hundreds of hours into that. I'm putting hundreds of hours into Anthem. So there's already people dedicating $60 to $120 into those two games. So realistically, they only have so much money left. And, realistically, I mean, we're not going to spend like insane. Who's putting $300 in the next 2 months? So I would say
it's time.
That too. Absolutely. But I'm saying, like, most people are talking like funds on Twitter, so I'll just keep to that subject.
It is tax season too, so people are going to start getting their returns, maybe start blowing their money.
I'm just saying if you have Xbox Game Pass and you've been looking for a reason, like myself and a lot of you guys that are listening to Salt's channel, Lucas' channel, Crap's channel, my channel, anyone's channel, Xbox channel, Foxy's, you guys are hardcore, right? You guys care and play games all the time. That means that you're hardcore, and if you're hardcore, you're probably like me. and waiting for Game Pass to give you that AAA experience that you want for your $9.99 a month. And for me, I'm really truly hoping that Metro is a game that comes to get Xbox Game Pass, because I would utilize that for the first time in a long time, because here I am putting a lot of money out of pocket.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. You know,
trust me. Like, I'm as cheap as they come. You know, I'm always looking for a deal.
Bravo to you, Saul.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't deny the fact that I'm just hearing from people that I know tell the truth. Like Skill Up, for example. I watch them.
Yeah.
I don't think he's bullshitting right now. He's not shilling this. So like, it makes me question in my mind, because I was right there with you guys, man. Metro, not my bag. I'm not buying it. It's going to drop in Game Pass, but it just kind of puts a question mark in my head. This might catch on. I mean, the visuals are there.
Yep.
The scores are there. I mean,
Saul, are you going to buy? Are you going to play Anthem or Division 2?
I'm going to play Anthem.
Okay, so and I'm right there with you. So now Anthem comes out the same day as Metro. Well, for you have EA access?
Yeah, no, I used to have it, but I don't have it. So I'll be playing it later.
A week later is my point. So I mean, are you yourself personally? And I think inquiring minds want to know. Are you going to buy Metro? And Anthem or no?
All right. So since I'm questioning how good this game is and based off the scores, and I'm selective with my games, so obviously I don't have to spend any money on Crackdown, right? So that's in Game Pass. So that was coming out around the times. And then the Anthem situation. So with Metro, I game share. So essentially I'm buying my games at a $30 clip. So I can buy it. I mean, it is, if I hear enough good things, I feel like Metro is different enough where I can play it and get a break from Anthem, because you know, you can't just keep playing one. I like to play different things. So if I want to go into Metro, depending on how long the campaign is, it might be a good buy. I don't know.
Well, the way I feel about it is, I have a very addictive personality with my games. You know, I still play Destiny 2 despite it's the only game I play. Okay? The only game I play. Listen, so for me personally, I'm getting the Division 2 and Anthem, so I just want to have time to do Metro. But it is something that I will consider playing later, depending on, like you were saying, Salty. I love Skill Up. I love his reviews, and he's always keeping it straight. So I'm really excited to see where this game goes.
Interesting. I like Mooch said, if this game does come out on Game Pass, I would try it there. See you in Game Pass probably. If it if it does go there, I like paying $60 for it. Doesn't make a lot of sense for me. Just too much other stuff to go through. I still got to finish up what is that? Resident Evil. So, once I finish that, I'll be able to maybe move on to a little something else. But what an incredible panel. What an incredible amount of discussion.
Great show, Crap.
It is like fantastic show. A lot of back and forth, just what I like to have. I'm going to go ahead and do some outros. Mooch, what do you got, man? What's going on, man? We got Crossfire Friday. I know we
definitely got Crossfire, 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Lord's time. Friday, the Mooch 78, and then we've got MNC show on your channel this week, Crap.
Yes, we do. It's gonna be great.
I believe it is.
Or he's thinking about it.
It is on your channel.
Oh yeah,
it is. It's going to be amazing. I know, right? No, trust me, it's going to be damn great. Absolutely, great. Salty, what do you got going on, man? I know you got a Salty podcast somewhere.
Yeah. Salty Scheming podcast Thursday tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's 7 days until the Anthem giveaway, so enter that. It's in the description of every video I put out, and it's on social media. You could win a copy of Anthem on Xbox or PlayStation. Who doesn't want a free copy, right?
So, that's what I'm talking about, man.
That is awesome.
Yes, exactly. I want a free copy, so let's go. I'm gonna try to win. Foxy, what do you got going on?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to playing Anthem this week. Oh, actually, Friday? 10-hour trial. I can't wait. Yeah. I haven't touched it before that. I didn't play the so-called demo or anything.
Yeah, is that what Tim Doss is buying with his winnings?
I'm pretty sure. That's on the top of the list. I'm pretty sure that's what he's gonna get. And I'm looking forward to that. I might have to put Crackdown on hold to get that Anthem fixed, though. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Very interesting.
I'm disappointed with them. If I do play it, though, I'm just going to play a single player and stuff like that. So maybe co-op, maybe single. We'll see. But, besides that, I'm working on my videos, and I'm going to share some actual, hand modeling. I'm going to show my collection, Gears collection, and my Xbox One collection, physical collection is coming up soon.
Famous YouTube thumbs coming up.
Yes, that's going to be great. We're going to look forward to it.
Hey, crap.
Yeah,
real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, Yobi reminded me he's doing a giveaway for my channel. We're giving away 2 copies of Mortal Kombat 11. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. It's crazy.
Awesome.
Right.
Great supporter right there. He gave away 2 copies of Red Dead Redemption on MNC. So
Yes,
he's really awesome, really supportive, kind.
He's amazing.
Really positive guy in the community.
Really positive.
So
really positive.
Nice to see that. And we also got VapeBot. What's going on, man? What do you got going on this week, man?
Well, of course we have the next podcast. Unfortunately, I got to work Saturday night, so I am moving it to Sunday. Follow me on Twitter at xbot448 so you can know the exact time. I'm working on something behind the scenes. I have an announcement coming for my channel. I just want to finalize everything first. It's pretty big. I can't wait to let the supporters out there know exactly what's going on with my channel. And since we're talking giveaways, Snaps is actually giving away 2 copies of Anthem as well. So yeah.
Wow.
So, whatever platform you choose, Xbox, PlayStation, or PC. So you definitely want to follow her on Twitter as well. It's OSnap, it's Mel. Why don't you follow me, check out my followers, and then you can get to her. See, that's how you do that.
Or just follow Mel. That's fine too.
The brains of the outfit, Mel.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you being here. And Luca, thank you for stopping by. You did an awesome job as always. Probably some of the most impressive comments I've ever heard and sensible comments. So we really appreciate it. What do you got going on?
Oh, well, thank you very much for having me. I had a great time as always. I love hanging out with you guys, which is, like Crap said at the beginning, I asked him, I was like, hey, I kind of miss hanging out with you guys. He really thought I was just going to come on here and shit on Crackdown. I was like, no, none of that. I just miss you guys.
You're going to destroy everything.
Yeah, I
was like, crush it. Yes, crush Crackdown.
Tonight.
Do it.
So, really thankful for you having me on, and you guys can follow me on Twitter at the Ash and Luca, and I have my own channel where I do a podcast called Scumcast where I bring on Xbox guys and PlayStation guys, and I just sit in the back and egg them on and have a good time laughing as they argue. So
that sounds like a lot of fun to me. So make sure you guys all check everybody's channel out here. Check out their podcast, their show, subscribe, all that stuff. Really thankful that they were able to put on such an amazing show tonight. We'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.